you guys ready for some fun? Are you guys ready for talk about pretzels? I could talk about pretzels all day long, all night long. I could eat pretzels all day and all night long. And these two individuals that are on our podcast today are the proprietors. Is that what you say? The owners? Yeah, the owners of the Freeport Pretzel Company. Alex Lavoilette, Dylan Shipley. Holy smokes, I am so excited. Welcome to Freepod.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm just going to throw this out here right now. How proud I am of you two. Number one, to create a pretzel company that's going to be incredibly successful, but more importantly, to call it the Freeport Pretzel Company. I think that is just so incredibly cool. So before I keep saying all these wonderful things about you, my question is, how did you decide on creating a pretzel company and coming up with the name?
Well, maybe you should tell the story.
Okay. So Dylan is from Freeport. I grew up in Northwest Indiana, and
Class of 2005.
What? And we were living in Chicago, met in Chicago and started dating. And then when he brought me back to Freeport for the first time, we pulled into town, and then there's just this big rock that says Pretzel City USA. And I just looked at him, I'm like, well, where do we get a pretzel at? And he was just like, nowhere. And I was like, what are you talking about? Nowhere. There's a rock. It says Pretzel City USA. And then we just kind of started playing around with the idea, just because that's just what we do. We just kind of riff off each other as far as just different ideas and concepts. And we're like, what about just the Freeport Pretzel Company? And again, it was we weren't even living here yet. We weren't even talking about moving here yet. But it just was that, why does that not exist? And that's just kind of how it started.
Yeah, that's how it started. And I think the Freeport Pretzel Company name was sort of kind of a way for us to create this thing that it wasn't about a name for us. It was more about kind of creating a pretzel in Freeport. And that's why we kind of decided on Freeport Pretzel Company, as it's more about this kind of the city and the pretzel than really our own venture, I would say.
Excellent. So I'm going to ask you the question because everybody always asks me this. And I'm just going to, let's just throw it out there right away. Where are they located? Where can I buy one every day? And I give them an answer, but I want you to tell the people of Freeport and surrounding area, why don't we have a big building somewhere?
Sure. Him and I both at this point we both work. We both have our own ventures that we kind of do. And we hope to get to that point where there could be a storefront, there could be a place for people to come, but we just wanted to at least get the process started and get ourselves out in front of the community at the different festivals. And, to have a building and a business and the permits, there's just a lot that goes into it. And that's the goal. And that's what we're working towards. But to make it happen immediately, there's just steps, and it's just time and money. And it's just, we want to get there. We just need to.
I think basically logistics dictates kind of the fact that we can't really realistically afford a storefront just on pretzels. So that's kind of where we're at right now, is we think that we're focusing on production and in a way that we can actually provide currently, with the understanding that we do plan to grow into a place where whether a storefront is offset by something else or or we grow organically enough to be able to support a storefront, but we just need to kind of prove that concept first. And I think that's sort of where we're at currently. So the only place that you can get us is essentially Freeport events for the most part,
which I think is fabulous. So I know for a fact that you've done Pretzel Fest. You came to the Pretzel City Polka Fest, which you were a huge hit.
It was awesome.
You were a huge hit in both of those. And then you went to the first Music on Chicago. Now, you're doing all Music on Chicago's?
Yes.
You were there for all of them. Okay, Music on Chicago. So tell me about your first Music on Chicago.
The first Music on Chicago was very successful from the viewpoint of being able to sell out. I think we were not expecting such a great reception and such demand for it. But we quickly learned just kind of the amount of people that these great events do really bring, and how many people are down there and looking to support the community, whether it's us or the other vendors that are down there. And that was a great surprise. But to say that we were maybe not really understanding of the volume that we have to be pushing there was a great surprise.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I mean, we were not expecting to sell out that quickly. And I feel bad that we did. And I know that you don't want me to say that.
No, you can say it. I just leave them wanting more. And I think the fact that you sold 80 pretzels in 36 minutes, I think.
Was it 36 minutes?
That's what you told me. Maybe it wasn't 36 minutes.
When did it start? I don't remember the time.
I don't remember exactly how long it was.
Okay. So maybe it wasn't 36.
Okay.
Maybe it was longer than that. But all I know is
within the first hour. I know that.
Within the first hour.
Yeah.
So you sold 80 pretzels, which shows the thing that I've stressed to so many people, and you are a major part of this. Why can't Freeport have nice things? We have a lot of nice things and let's have fun things. And this is so fun. So let's do the major thing, because I know people are listening going, what do they sell? So here we go. Do you notice how that voice always pops up?
Voice.
There's somebody out there listening to this going, how does he know my voice? How does he know my voice? Okay. So here we go. Here we go with this. What are your items that you sell?
So currently we have just a classic soft pretzel, like the classic pretzel shape. And then we serve that with just nacho cheese. We do honey mustard, and then we have a creamy giardiniera. That's like our signature sauce. That one was just, I've been a big pusher of that one for, I don't know. We both just loved it.
Delicious.
It's a signature for us. It's the giardiniera speaks to our Chicago roots.
Yeah. And then we, at the first Music on Chicago back in beginning of June, we introduced the cinnamon sugar pretzel bites with cream cheese frosting,
which are delish. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, they're good.
They're good. But as far as the options right now, that's kind of where we're at. We also have like t-shirts. The plan for, cause we're also going to be doing Brewfest, is to have like some like beer steins and some with the pretzel logo on it as well. But that's kind of where we're at. And we have like lists and lists of just different ideas and things we want to do. And, it just takes time to workshop through them all, and what are people actually going to like, and what's going to stick, what's not going to stick. And, we're still, the first event we did was Pretzel Fest. So we're like a little over 2 months into this, and it's, and like, just know that more is going to be coming, but we're just.
What is overwhelming to you right now? Is there anything that's overwhelming to you guys at all, or no?
I think the biggest thing that's overwhelming is just kind of doing this moonlight. Because we both do have our creative ventures that we pursue actively and support ourselves with. Just being able to kind of produce at the capacity that we need to, that's probably the most overwhelming thing. The fun part was being able to kind of create this and do all the marketing or like the branding and all that stuff. And that's where we kind of shine as individuals. But now the actual production and operations is probably what's overwhelming for both of us.
Well, for those of you that don't know, I have helped Freeport get a sister city in Lidditz, Pennsylvania. And when I went out there and we have pretzels now hard pretzels now for sale in areas, I spoke to the Rotary, and Jeff Williams, who works out at the bank with Alex, came out into the little area that I was at the drive-through and said, hey, nice job at that meeting regarding those pretzels. That's a good idea. And I looked at Alex, and Alex got this look on her face like, pretzels? And I'm looking at Alex like, did she think I stole some money from the bank or what? What's going on here? And then all of a sudden Alex goes, hey, there's nobody behind you. Can we talk a little bit about pretzels? And then all of a sudden I see this branding. Your logo is fabulous. Your colors are just outstanding. I can't wait for tube socks. Not giving you a hint. And I just got a text. Charles B. Connors, the Schnauzer, says, where's dog bandanas?
Those two. Yes.
But the whole idea of your branding and your business model, how did you two together come up with that business model?
Well, our skill sets are definitely complementary. So my other business venture is custom woodworking. And what I do is I love to just make things, and make things in a way that it looks like it was store bought. So, the first thing I did was create a sign for us. And then I actually carved the stamp on my CNC router at home, which allowed us to kind of trial by fire, figure out like what works and what kind of logos actually work well to do kind of a lo-fi stamp on these bags. So we don't have to invest in like large runs of printing for our packaging and all that. So when we say like it's a grassroots startup, we truly mean that. Like we're using our skills, whether it be me as a maker or Alex and her food and beverage experience. That's kind of how I think we've created it. Was just, well, what can we do here and now that maybe creates an effect larger than what we actually are, I guess, is sort of been our approach for the branding.
Well, I think it's really neat because there are people that are like, oh, that's really cute that these two are trying to create a pretzel thing. And I'm like, Dylan does woodworking and is incredibly popular and does very well. And they go, and Alex not only has a solid job at the bank, but also she has cheesecapes, the charcuterie pit. That's Alex? Yeah, that's Alex. And then I'm kind of leaving it as a surprise a little later on what Alex's job was many years ago. And we're going to talk about that at the end because it's kind of cool. But as we look at that, as you keep moving forward, you said what's fun, but what excites you about the future of this?
I think just in general, there's endless opportunity with what we can create with it. The pretzel being the base and the foundation of it all, but just like, again, like getting creative with the different dips and the sauces and things that we can add to it. And just like seeing how excited just the community has been and like just the response from the community. We knew it would be exciting and cool, but like it definitely like blew us away with how excited everybody is. And then, we're working towards not like we're not saying a storefront, but just, we want to have it available because that's what people want. And just trying to figure out the nooks and crannies of just making it all work.
Yeah, I think being able to contribute to the community in an authentic way. So what I mean by that is like being able to do something that we find enjoyable, but also contributes to the community overall, like being able to provide a pretzel on a scale, hopefully that will be available for everybody in the future. But also like fulfilling that creative urge personally for both of us. That's kind of like the best case scenario where you can create something for the community, but also really be able to enjoy it yourself. So it's not like about like something that you have to like really drag yourself out of bed to do, and I think that's what's most exciting is being able to offer something that we enjoy doing and that people like.
Well, as everyone knows, I taught at Freeport High School for a long time, and it was Teacher Appreciation Day one of the days, and they brought you in to do Freeport Pretzel Company, and it's so cute. I had emails and texts and comments going to me. They're like, "Do you know how good these are?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I kind of have an idea. Yeah, they're kind of good." I maybe
tried it once or twice.
Kind of like, yeah. I want them to name this sauce after me. I don't know who that was, but anyway, all of these great ideas, and to all of you out here listening, isn't it wonderful that we have two solid individuals in this town that are trying to make Freeport better because of their talents? And the word you said was authentic. I love how authentic this is. What are some things you're playing with food-wise? What are some things you're trying that you maybe haven't put out there yet and maybe never will? But what are some things that you're trying?
One of them that we're really excited about, and this could potentially be down the road, but like loaded pretzel bites. So think like, like a loaded tot or like a nacho, but pretzel being the foundation of that with like buffalo chicken and green onion and some sour cream and cheese. And
you had me at loaded. Had me at loaded. Yeah. Wow, that's delicious.
Yeah. We have a whole I'm trying to think of the other ones that we've.
Any with pepperoni and sausage or something like that?
There could be. We haven't workshopped that yet, but definitely like a pizza one. You're just saying, just throwing.
I'm just throwing it out. I talk. I don't come up with the food ideas.
We listen to what the people want.
Yes, for sure.
Ultimately,
right. Yeah. Okay. So here's the fun thing. So with your work ethic and with creation of this and with this authentic project, business that you have. Dylan, you've done woodworking for such a long time. You're incredibly successful with this. How has this kind of pushed you into this?
I think just not being able to afraid to try something. That first venture off on your own, you kind of learn a lot about yourself in terms of like, is this effort that I'm going to put in, is there going to be a reward? And not that everything that you do has to be for the reward, but just knowing that it's not going to be in vain. Right. So, I think that venture has kind of led me to kind of feel as though if I think I'm capable of doing something, then more than likely I am. And the woodworking has taught me that, because I learned that all secondhand from guys that I've worked with and all that. And I think with Alex as my partner in this venture, she gives me great confidence in whatever she's doing. And if she feels like she can do it too, then for sure we can do it. So I think that like getting back to the initial question was, how has woodworking sort of brought me to the ability to think that we can do this. But I think it's just a confidence thing in having your own venture. There's kind of knowing that it's not like something's going to be given to you. We got to kind of like create this and make it. So I think that is kind of how that has really contributed to starting this venture.
That's outstanding. I almost fell over in my chair there. That was crazy. Now, Alex, here's the secret for everybody. Alex, you were assistant manager in Chicago. Where were you the assistant manager of?
The Hotel Zachary, which is right across the street from Wrigley Field. So I opened that hotel as the assistant food and beverage manager. And then I was there for 4 to 5-ish years. So like through COVID. And then I was there like the next kind of season essentially. And then that's when I broke off and started Cheesecapes. So
as you started Cheesecapes, it was rough, somewhat rough, but it was a great experience for you. It was a great experience. And how has that pushed you into this? Yeah.
I mean, my whole background stems from food and beverage. I worked in hotels and restaurants my whole life. And I feel like, just as he said, just having like a good partner and having somebody who's also creative, like it's just kind of fun to just keep creating things. And we bounce ideas off each other all the time. But the hotel specifically, just being prepared and like just thinking of every possible thing that could go wrong and trying to stay ahead of the game as much as you possibly can. I mean, the volume we did at that hotel was insane every single day. It was just insanity.
That place was crazy.
A lot of fun though. I mean, like it was great. I mean, just like, it was just always just so much energy down there all the time.
And I love the big bar, the big white bar. Oh
yeah. That's where I was. Like,
probably saw you because I was there a few times.
Yeah. But I mean, just dealing with the volume and the capacity of people. And again, just trying to just stay organized and just plan as much as you possibly can, just to set ourselves up for success. Also, on one note too, with Dylan and his, with woodworking, he's also really, really great at processes. Like that is where he shines, is like figuring out like just different sort of processes and how can we make this better and more efficient. And, I think his skill set with that, and then me having the food and beverage background and planning, I think like that together, just it meshes well.
Fabulous. Now, those are 2 great answers. Dylan, I have one more question for you with that. How did working with head coach Nick Namio of Freeport Soccer, how did that help you food-wise get to here?
Well, I think we all know Namio is definitely a food enthusiast, meaning that he can spot the things that are really good and isn't afraid to say the things that aren't. But and ultimately, just conditioning matters. That was the big thing that Namio set me up with, was conditioning matters. Run harder, go longer, and just be there till the end. And I think hopefully we're going to do that. That's the thing, is work ethic is really important.
Well, I'm really excited because I'm going to announce for the first time on August 20th. That's going to be John Hartman Alliance down at the Music on Debate Square. The Freeport Pretzel Company is going to be down there selling pretzels. Woo! So that's good stuff. Woo! So we're good there. But also, you're going to be at Music on Debate Square. You're going to be at Licky's. You're going to be doing some other things and all kinds of crazy things and Music on Chicago and all that kind of stuff. To leave us of this final thing, you're not a Freeporter, but how is coming into Freeport and with this company or whatever, how has this made you happy and positive, and how has this pushed you?
Yeah. First of all, I mean, just coming to Freeport in general and working at the bank, I just felt I'm from like a super small town, and Freeport is a small town, with a city sort of atmosphere. Also, like there's, having the downtown. I didn't have that growing up, but just it is a small town here, and it is just, there's so much community, and just everybody's just been so supportive of, when I put out cheesecapes, and then as well as the Freeport Pretzel Company. Obviously you hope that people will be excited and want your product, but I couldn't have asked for it to be a better start to it all, honestly. So I'm just really grateful for everyone just welcoming me and Dylan back here. And we're happy to be here.
Well, not only are we welcoming you back, we don't want you to leave. Stay here.
Yeah, we are.
Stay here. Good. I'll tell you this. For those of you that are listening that are like, I want one of those pretzels. Get in line early. Get in line early. It's okay to have a product that sells out quickly because it means A, it's delicious, and B, it's worth its while. And these two are also. Dylan Shipley, Alex Lavoilette of the Freeport Pretzel Company. Thank you so much for being here on Freepod.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.